Are you trying to get really good footage out of your drone, but the darn sun's always getting in the way? Let's talk ND filters. What's up everyone, I'm the Everyday Dad. If I can figure it out, you can figure it out. Now before we get started, I do want to say thank you to SANDMARC for sending me the ND filters we're going to be messing around with today. They're not paying me for the review, but they did send me the filters for free to try them out and give you my impressions. So let's start talking neutral density. You know, I drove all the way up to the lake here today because the lake's really where I like doing the majority of my filming. And the forecast today was supposed to be sunny, which would have been a perfect opportunity to show out some ND filters, but as you can see, there is no sun. But we can still do the test anyway. Now before we get too far into it, let's explain what is a neutral density filter. ND, or neutral density filters, are super important if you plan on filming anything at almost any time outdoors. Sunlight and decently exposed images are always at war with each other, and you can never really have one without the other, as cameras, drones or otherwise, are basically light gathering devices. They gather all the light and they imprint it onto their sensor, and that's what the images that we get, you know, are made of. Now, I don't take a lot of photos. I'm mostly a video guy. I make family videos and make YouTube videos. I'm not really going to cover anything with using ND filters for photo. I'm only concerned with video. Now, if you want to see a very detailed explanation on the mechanics behind ND filters, go check out my friend Henrik over at Drones and Electric Unicycles. A couple of days ago, he released a very in-depth video on ND. Now, when you're using a bigger camera, a mirrorless, a DSLR, you can get properly exposed images without needing ND filters because you generally have control over your aperture, which is the amount of light that is let into the sensor. However, drones like the Mavic Air have a fixed aperture. The Mavic Air has a fixed aperture of f2.8, which is a decently fast, decently wide open aperture, and that helps it out when there's not as much light, but when there's an abundance of light and it has a fixed aperture, there's not a lot that you can do to correct that. You can either drop the ISO, we're not as concerned about that right now. You can either increase the shutter speed, but when you increase the shutter speed, you mess around with taking video. So the general rule of thumb, and this is a general rule of thumb, you want to have twice the shutter speed of your frame rate. So we're currently recording in 60 frames per second, so the shutter speed of my mirrorless camera is at 125th. If you're going to be recording in 30 frames per second, you want it to be 60th, and so on and so forth. This is a general rule. Artistically, you can do whatever you want to, but in general, twice the shutter speed of your frames per second. So when you want to get the best video out of your drone, you want to stay at, you know, a relatively good shutter speed. You can't drop your ISO anymore because there is no more ISO to drop. The only thing you can do is put a neutral density filter on. Now, what neutral density filters are, you know, are these. That's what everybody says. Chalk one up for the cliche description. They're basically sunglasses for your drone. It lets you adapt the open aperture of a drone while still getting properly exposed images. Now that we've got the underlying reason why you want to use ND filters out of the way, let's get the filters on the drone. Now, installing the ND filters on the drone is crazy easy. All you do is you unscrew the lens cap, then you screw the filter on. Super, super simple. You want to make sure the drone has the filter on the lens when it goes through its boot up status so that it balances the weight while it's turning on. You don't want to screw it on after it's already on. It could mess with your gimbal. It could do all that bad stuff. So make sure you install it first, then power on your drone. So now we know how to install them, we need to figure out which one we actually need. So the pack that I got from SANDMARC has 3 ND filters and a polarizer. So each ND filter has a rating that equates to a certain number of light not getting into the camera. And a really easy way to do this is take your drone, point it in the direction of the area you want to film, make sure you have your overexposure warning on, and you'll see the zebra pattern. Zebra patterns mean your image is overexposed. So we test it out where we want to film. Okay, that one doesn't work, we put on the next ND filter. Like a line on the Serengeti, ND filters chase away those zebras. I'm actually pretty proud of that joke. I wrote it down. Since it's so cloudy, we're gonna make it a little harder on the drone than we normally would. We're gonna film in 30 frames per second, which means our shutter speed would be at 60th. We're gonna let a whole bunch more light in, you know, for purposes of the demonstration. So now we've actually found out that at 30 frames per second with a shutter speed of 60th, we need the big boy, we need the strongest ND filter we have. Let's do some flying. That's the best part. That's the whole part to come out and test out ND filters, is to actually get to fly your drone, right? And we're back. So what, right? So should you get a set of SANDMARC ND filters? If you just leave your drone in auto all the time and you're not really too worried about getting the best quality out of the video, no, you don't need to get a set of ND filters. However, if you are trying to get the most cinematic, if you're trying to get the best quality, if you're trying to beat the sun at its own game, well then yeah, you should absolutely get a pair of ND filters. You should always have options when it comes to the width of your aperture, and when you don't have an option, like when it comes to the drone, the only way to fix it is with ND filters. Thanks for watching.